Okay, let's dig into this. Have you ever seen someone just absolutely like blow up, destroying something valuable to themselves just because of some tiny frustrating thing? It seems totally irrational, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. But it's a pattern we actually saw highlighted in the material we're looking at today.
Right.
We're exploring why content creators sometimes react, well, impulsively to really minor issues and the surprisingly massive self-inflicted costs that, come in.
Yeah, the sources really hammer this idea of a jerk reaction or a knee-jerk reaction, specifically in the online creator world.
Mhm.
And the most extreme version of that, just wiping your entire body of work offline, the very thing bringing in your income.
It really sets up this central conflict the sources explore, doesn't it? That clash between the emotional urge to lash out versus the need for a professional business mindset.
And the
And
costs.
crucially, yeah, the significant financial price you pay for letting spite kind of take the wheel.
So what exactly did the material tell us about this cost of spite in the digital space?
Well, what's really striking is how often the reaction is just completely out of proportion to whatever the initial problem was.
Right.
The sources point to cases where creators get upset over really standard online transaction stuff.
Mhm.
Things like a customer issuing a chargeback or maybe a bank fee.
Things that are often outside the platform's direct control, yeah.
Exactly. Often totally outside their control, but the response, delete everything. Just pull it all down.
Wow. And the material gave this really vivid example. Like, imagine a photographer. Maybe they earn around $500 a month online from their photos.
Okay, yeah.
And then they get hit with, like, a $10 chargeback, which is annoying, sure, but it's usually a bank thing, right? Not the platform itself doing it.
Precisely. Or maybe it's just a small payment processing fee.
Yeah.
These things are, well, they're just part of the background noise of online business.
Just the cost of doing business, really.
Right. But in that moment of frustration, maybe feeling unfairly treated or something, the creator decides to, show the platform by pulling all their work.
Yeah. And boom. The second they do that, any like satisfaction from that emotional reaction just vanishes against the financial reality.
Absolutely. That $10 problem, it just triggered the loss of, what, $490 from their usual $500 monthly income in that example.
Wow, that is a massive difference, a huge self-inflicted wound.
It really highlights the key insight the sources kept emphasizing. This kind of impulsive, destructive behavior often happens because the creator hasn't fully adopted a robust business mindset yet.
Because being an online creator is running a business, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And like any business, it needs strategy, it needs long-term thinking, and importantly, seeing platforms as, well, essential partners, not adversaries you punish when you're upset.
The sources even brought up platforms like BentBox, didn't they? Mentioning how they apparently invest quite a bit of effort into working with their users.
Yeah, they did. Helping creators like refine their sales approach, explaining the complexities, why chargebacks happen, how different fees work, that kind of thing.
Which seems like the complete opposite strategy to that knee-jerk, delete everything reaction.
It is the opposite.
Yeah.
Their support is framed as helping creators actually navigate the realities of online selling successfully.
Yeah.
So when you unpublish over issues that are just, standard operational friction,
You're doing exactly what the sources warn against.
exactly, you're cutting off your own income stream out of pure frustration. There's no real gain, only self-inflicted loss.
So instead of giving in to that like immediate emotional urge, the material suggests channeling that energy differently.
Right, into building your business, focusing on your actual goals, adopting that professional mindset.
And working with the platforms that, frankly, make your income possible.
Yeah.
Understanding the system, asking for help when you need it, keeping your work online, that's the strategy that pays off.
Mm-hmm. So if we, connect this back to the bigger picture for you listening, the central lesson from this deep dive seems pretty clear. Letting emotions, especially ones rooted in misunderstanding standard online stuff like chargebacks or bank fees, well, it can lead directly to pretty severe self-sabotage if you're trying to run an online business.
That specific example really sticks with you, though, doesn't it? A $10 issue mushrooming into a $490 cost, it just powerfully shows that disproportionate price tag.
It really does. And the alternative the sources point towards is, I think, essential.
Yeah.
Cultivating that professional business mindset, taking time to understand how these online transactions actually work.
And using the support platforms offer, like that BentBox example, instead of just reacting purely on emotion.
Exactly.
And, for anyone listening who's navigating online platforms, maybe building a business, big or small, understanding this dynamic feels incredibly important.
Definitely. And what really stands out to me, what the material kind of leaves you thinking about, is that the true cost of spite isn't really the original small issue, is it?
It's the lost earnings. It's the squandered opportunity that comes from making those emotional rather than strategic decisions. It really makes you pause and think, where is your creative and business energy best spent?